So I left off right here. I'd found this row right here, and then I just dragged it down. The beautiful thing about this particular portion of the Excel work is that you don't need dollar signs or anything special because of the way you've set up these tables, because you're mirror imaging this stuff up above you, it all works perfectly. All right, so there's that portion. Now I haven't found this test statistic yet. The test statistic would be equal to the sum of all of that stuff. So you take the sum of all of those values. There's your test statistic right there, 19.318. So let me go back here to my test. I can just say it's 19.318. I'm not going to bother writing up all that stuff. Done. All right, now step 4, we have a classical method and a p-value method. We're going to show both of them. So let's just, I'm copying this from the last problem, but that's all right. Okay. All right, classical approach. First thing I need is I need the degrees of freedom, right? So last time it was 4, because if you remember, it's r minus 1 times c minus 1. It's not going to be 4 this time. Let's go look. Right here. Okay, so the number of rows I have, is equal to 2, right? There's the boy row and the girl row. The total row doesn't count, right? Then the number of columns I have is 3 because there are 3 different classes. Okay, so then the degrees of freedom would be equal to parentheses 2 take away 1 times parentheses 3 take away 1, which is 2 because this would be 1 times 2, right? So there's your degrees of freedom. And then we're going to need alpha. Alpha was 0.05. Okay, so the the critical value would be equal to chi sq dot dot inverse dot rt, inv dot rt, 0.05 comma degrees of freedom is 2. There we go. That's the critical value, 5.991. Okay. All right, so then would we reject the null hypothesis? You bet your booties we would, because our critical value is 5.991, but our test statistic was something much larger than that, 19.318, right? So our critical value is right here where the border is, right there, that line, and then 19 is way farther over than that, so we would reject the null hypothesis. All right, what about the p-value method? To find the p-value, you do equals chi dist, or you can do chi sq dot dist dot rt, which is my version. And then our test statistic is the one, so 19.318, comma degrees of freedom, which we've still found is 2. There we go. So notice that scientific notation, that's 0.00, 0.12346, right? One less 0. All right, so that's our p-value. Oh, and again, remember you can find it with chi dist, same way. 19.318 comma 2, give you the same answer. Same thing up here, this would be equal to chi inverse if you have those old versions of Excel. 0.05 comma 2, got it. Okay, so it's 0.00006, 4 zeros and a 6, which means we reject the null hypothesis because 0.00006 is less than our alpha, which I don't remember what, yep, it was 0.05. All right. So that means that there is enough evidence to support the claim. There is enough evidence. Let me type this up. Hold on. There is enough evidence to support the claim that there's a significant difference between boys and girls' favorite TV shows. Now, real quick, let me put this also into StatCrunch. Hold on. Let me copy and paste. There, you can see I have it in there. So I go to Stat, Tables, Contingency, Summary. I pick the 3 things. My row variable was variable 9, and I click Calculate.